Sudan's ruling military council and pro-democracy protesters on Sunday initiated a constitutional declaration aimed at paving the way for a transition to civilian rule after the ouster of President Omar Hassan al-Bashir and months of unrest. Another mass shooting took place in America, this time at a Walmart in Texas, that changed the infamous rankings of the deadliest mass shootings in the nation's modern history. Sports betting is sweeping across the United States after it was legalized a year ago, with more states taking advantage of an activity that has been illegal and thrived underground. That's all for our top stories today. Stay tuned for more details in this newscast. After many failures, hindrances of all kinds, and misunderstandings, the time has come to sign an agreement that will restore democracy to Sudan. It was a long battle to finally reach to the end of the tunnel. After months of many failures, hindrances of all kinds, and misunderstandings, the time has come to sign an agreement that will restore democracy to Sudan. It was a long battle to finally reach the end of the tunnel. The military council, which has led the country since the ouster of Omar al-Bashir, and the leaders of the protest have reached an agreement. This is mainly a constitutional declaration that opens the way to a transfer of power to the civilians. After 2 days of negotiations deemed bitter, a consensus was finally found. According to the Sudan Professional Association, spearhead of the protest, this is a significant step forward. Settling many conflicts across the country remains the high priority of the upcoming negotiations. For the first time, an agreement in this country has so many details and precise dates. The signing of this comprehensive agreement will take place on August 17th. Followed by the appointment of a sovereign council the following day. The appointment of a prime minister from the civil party will take place on August 20th, and finally, the establishment of a parliament a few days later. It remains to be seen whether, in the meantime, the different sides will not experience other disputes, which could call into question the elements of this new agreement, which could finally bear the mark of unity. On Saturday morning, 20 people were killed and 26 others were injured as a result of a shooting at an El Paso store. That totally makes it the deadliest shooting in the U.S. since the shooting at a high school in Parkland, Florida, a year and a half ago.
To some degree, mass shootings in America seem to build on one another. That is to say, some mass shooters, at least we know, are inspired by past mass shootings. We know that because they sort of go to school on past mass shootings, acquire information. That's a disturbing trend, but of course in a free society, there's going to be reporting about such events. So that is a concern. Secondly, ever greater firepower is available legally, and that proliferates and escalates the kind of violence.
Gun control has been a major issue for years now in the United States, as gun violence in the country results in tens of thousands of deaths and injuries annually. According to US Population 2019.com, the population of the USA in the year 2019 is expected to be over 329 million, and according to US Small Arms Survey, civilian-owned firearms are over 393 million pieces, indicating it is enough for every man, woman, and child to own one, but still have 67 million guns left over. According to the Gun Violence Archive, AP, Northeastern University, and USA Today, there were 250 mass shootings between January and August 2019, while the numbers were 340 in 2018, 346 in 2017, 382 in 2016, and 335 in 2015. Two mass shootings that rocked the states of Texas and Ohio over the weekend and left 29 people dead are triggering another round of debate on America's gun control. The first occurred on Saturday at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas, where a gunman killed 20 people and injured 26. The second took place early Sunday morning in Dayton, Ohio, where a gunman killed 9 people and injured at least 16 more. Former U.S. President Barack Obama took the first step on gun control in 2012 following a mass shooting in Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut, in which a gunman killed 20 children, 6 adults, and himself. But his new gun law was blocked by Congress. President Donald Trump on Sunday weighed in on 2 mass shootings, acknowledging perhaps more has to be done to address gun violence. But on May 4, 2018, he reiterated his strong support for gun rights at the National Rifle Association's annual meeting in the Texas city of Dallas. Thousands of Hong Kong residents gathered at the park on Saturday afternoon to express their strong opposition to violence and firm support to the police force. At the rally at Victoria Park, many residents wore white t-shirts with slogans of safeguard the rule of law and protect our home. And these residents held placards that read, "I love Hong Kong. Hong Kong is my home." The majority of Hong Kong residents said they want to restore peace and order to society. Organizers said 90,000 people took part in the event.
We are the silent majorities because, normal people normal people don't want chaos and things like that. So most of them won't attend that kind of gathering very oftenly. But today we see a lot of riots and violence. So we're very angry. So we have to come out. We have to come out to speak out for ourselves.
Many local residents said the police in Hong Kong have been very restrained and deserve the respect of the whole society.
Hong Kong police are too gentle to those protesters. They are the ones who use violence in the first place. If they can use violence, why can't the police fight back? It's justified to enforce the law.
The police are a symbol of the rule of law. If protesters storm the police, it basically equals to fighting against.
The 2 mass shootings took place hours apart in the U.S. last weekend, show that gun violence remains a major concern for the country and raises support for stronger gun laws, following a series of mass shootings in recent years, according to an expert. The town of Tunica in Mississippi has been its fair share of mixed fortunes in the betting industry. It used to be the poorest place in the U.S., but its fortunes changed in the early 90s when riverboat gambling was legalized. Jobs and tax revenue helped turn the community into a picture postcard of the Deep South. Mayor of Tunica, Carica, witnessed Tunica's casino boom and its spiral firsthand when competition led to dwindling revenues and closures. The dwindling casino revenues resulted in job losses, driving families away.
I hate to see when a casino closes because that changes our jobs for people. It changes the number of, our unemployment rate goes up and it dislocates families.
Now Tunica is betting on sports gambling to revive its fortunes. Gold Strike Casino placed its first sports bet a year ago after a landmark Supreme Court allowed individual states to begin opening casino sports books in May 2018.
We're having our best year ever. I mean, we have more people coming through our doors, we have more gaming revenue, we have more people enjoying our facilities.
Yet a new round of competition among casinos in Tunica, as well as from neighboring Arkansas, where sports betting has just been legalized, has caused some gambling places to shut down. Competition aside, Tunica's revenues haven't matched initial forecasts, and restricting sports betting to casinos only may have not helped. In May, Mississippi sports wagers totaled $17.4 million, but in New Jersey, where sports gamblers can play online as well as casinos, it was more than 10 times of what, with nearly $320 million. Nowhere else in the U.S. took as much money. With all this new money, some experts are concerned about the lack of research into the impact of being able to bet on any element of just about any sport.
We know that gamblers tend to be impulsive. And when you're in the middle of watching a game or a match, and you can make a wager on some odd event that occurs, It both keeps you excited and invested in the game, but it also might prey upon or be predatory to people who tend to be impulsive in nature.
In Tunica, Karika is trying to reduce his community's economic dependence on gambling with diverse tourist attractions.
We've got a lot to offer, and people say, oh, I don't want to go to Mississippi. Come give us a chance. Give us the opportunity to show you our Southern hospitality.
Sudan's ruling military council and pro-democracy protesters on Sunday initiated a constitutional declaration aimed at paving the way for a transition to civilian rule after the ouster of President Omar Hassan al-Bashir and months of unrest. Another mass shooting took place in America, this time at a Walmart in Texas, that changed the infamous rankings of the deadliest mass shootings in the nation's modern history. Sports betting is sweeping across the United States after it was legalized a year ago, with more states taking advantage of an activity that has been illegal and thrived underground. That's the end of our newscast of the day, but keep watching Gabon 24 for further news.